So thank you very much for introduction. Good morning, everybody. It's my honor to present the state of map in China. Actually, we had. I wanted to present another topic because we had a real user survey of OpenStreetMap data in China, where we got almost 2,000 participants in a user survey, but still we follow the guideline of the country presentation, and if you are interested in my user survey, you can come to me and talk later. This is a guideline of the country presentation. I don't need to say much. And if you look at the statistic, China is always on the 20th or 19th, so like 20 plus minus 5 in the position of active OpenStreetMap community. But this is the data of the users who are mapping for China. And we actually don't know whether they are really living in China or outside of China. Our daily members is on average is 50-60 active members for the contribution of China, and you see also the same numbers if you see the weekly active users. And but if we look at the annual statistic, you see the slightly tendency increase, the number of contributors increase from year to year. So about the new created nodes or features, we have much more than the changed objects. This is also weekly. You see almost 40,000 new created nodes, and because in China you still see many blank areas in West China, so there's much potential to create new features and nodes in China. And this is annual change set in China. I don't want to say too much about this because you can find in the statistic on the internet. I'm going to focus on the later what I'm going to talk about. This is the one for Shanghai in 2007, and now you see in Shanghai it's almost everything mapped. What's the special tax in China? First of all, I would say if you have ever been in China, you will see in the large cities like Shanghai, Wuhan, or Guangzhou, or Xiamen, and you will see the streets are not two-dimensional, are three-dimensional. You will see 2 or 3 levels of street inside of the city. So we have actually the elevated expressways inside of the city. But the Chinese society, they just follow the text defined on OpenStreetMap. So they really, so it's only few cases that define new text. So most of them just follow the text defined by the OSM society. Also, you see here, you see here some special buildings, the historic sites in China. So I guess on OpenStreetMap they're treated as buildings, but actually they are not buildings because they cannot fulfill the functionality of buildings. So people cannot live there. I think if we want to map this kind of buildings on OpenStreetMap, we have to define new text. It's the left corner, you see the gate of the Wuhan University. Is a very beautiful university. So this kind of gates you can find many in China, also in Taiwan. I think. I guess some colleagues from Taiwan is also here and can talk about later. About some major players or contributors in China. So I think from the company side, Baidu is the most active mapper in China because they use the OpenStreetMap data in China, also out of China. And otherwise, it's almost research institutions like universities, institute like here, Wuhan University, Tongji University, and Beijing University. There's a lot of universities which have geographic department or department of geoinformatics. So they try to map something on OpenStreetMap and for the research purpose. Major active carried out by community or community members in the past years. Actually, it's not clear because in China you cannot find such kind of information. And this is why I want to emphasize. From end of 2015, there's new law for mapping in China. So you can check. I'm sorry, it's in Chinese, but it's signed by our Prime Minister. So according to the law, so maps on the internet are allowed in China, but should be controlled by the authority. And if you want to do the real surveying, you have to get the certificate from the authority. And therefore, we have this kind of standard for VGI collection, VGI data collection, because we do think the VGI data is different from the authority survey, because from many sides, especially from the aspect of accuracy. So VGI data collection, we don't need high accuracy. For the survey and mapping, you need high accuracy. And from the type of features, we don't need that many kind of features like the authority survey. So I attended in a team of defining standard for the VGI collection. Now it's approved by our National Geometric Center. So it's allowed to collect VGI data in China, but not use the high accuracy GPS antennas. So you can use a mobile phone, you can use any mobile devices to collect VGI data. And Baidu is one of the largest map providers in China, and if you are in China, you can use the apps of map on your mobile phone and for the location. And but Baidu use OpenStreetMap data for out of China, and within China they use their own data. Major use case so the main stories in our country. There's no main story because we do have many nature disasters like earthquake or landslide in China, but the authority, that's the procedure of emergency response, and they actually reply quickly to have maps. Therefore, there's no need to have OSM maps in such kind of regions, because they are professional. They can provide high quality map in short time for the helps. And for my conclusion, it's legal to contribute OSM in China. However, the most of people that they do not have motivation for the contribution because they don't think they need the map. They have alternative. They have Baidu map. They have other maps for free in China. So they don't have motivation to have additional free map in China. Therefore, you see China is still developing country as well for OSM data. And the data quality in big cities are quite high. We already have some data quality assessment, and I would say OSM data are more and more used in research communities like university and research institutions. But we still need more promotions for the public to let them know. Mainland China, we don't need maps, but for the rest of the world, we want to contribute, we want to help. For the undeveloped countries like Africa or South Asian countries, if they have disaster, we also want to help, contribute. And currently, China have many high-resolution satellite, and they can provide satellite images and can be used for OSM mapping. And my last slide is the Wuhan University. You see, it's almost everything mapped. It has been done by our university. And thank you very much.